Hello everybody, and welcome to this channel. And please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and also like the video if you are watching. I just want to welcome everybody. I'm Jackson Ngenda once more again. I'm a targeted individual for the past 20 years and I'm from Namibia. Today I want to talk about the motives the perpetrator use in order to harass their victims. Mostly, you'll find that these people, they use false motives, for anything else, in order to pin somebody so that, they can make you feel guilty and instill in you a false sense of guiltiness that gives them maybe that they have got, they are justified, to harass you, to continue and conduct this remote neural monitor, COVID electronic harassment on you, which is illegal and it's not allowed as I'm concerned. So mostly, these people they'll come up with a motive, and this motive is mostly false. Like in my case, they came up with a motive. As you can know that all crime, all people who commit crime, it can be rape, it can be murder, it can be stealing. Everything have got a motive behind before they commit a crime. So in my case, these criminals, who are conducting this electronic cyber psychological torture on me, this torture, they have also a motive, and mostly the motive that they use is that they are suspecting or they are accusing me of committing a rude act in public in order for me to be famous, which I question very much. That is not true. You see, it's not a right motive. For instance, me, I was working at sea. I was working as a government agent, a government representative in foreign vessels that are fishing in the Namibian waters. So in fact, the government has to have a representative, and I was there as a government representative there, as an inspector, inspecting and authorizing, and to see that those people they conduct all the process of harvesting the marine resources according with the Marine Act. You see, the work at sea is not like the work in the office. Like you go to the office, like you go to the bank, you come back to your wife and your family and everything. But when you work at sea, you forget all those things, all those normal things that you do. And the sea, it's a dangerous environment. It's not a normal environment. That's why you find that mostly even employees who work at sea, other companies are paid sea allowances or danger allowances. Because of that, everything is just not normal there. You find that you are cut out from the world. There is no connection, there is no internet, there is no nothing, there's no any transmission of anything. So even in some other vessels, at least when you go to a vessel where they have connected a satellite communication, maybe you can use a phone and your phone to a loved one. But when it comes to other vessels, it's only a two-way radio communication. So in fact, that is so cumbersome. You cannot use that. It's just freaking environment, so you cannot do anything. And so as this is a freaking environment or abnormal environment, which means it has also an effect on people, mental well-being, psychologically, you get affected, what I'm trying to say is that, you are affected, which means that the employers, who employ people who go and work in abnormal working environment like that, they should make sure that their employee are protected from anything, that can at least maybe uh, put them into a very um, unfortunate situation of getting, involved, or getting, or getting involved with things like mental illnesses, getting subjected to that kind of conditions, you know. So in fact, the employer might see that, they do everything to their possibility or to their ability, to see that, they limit the chances of, to prevent their employees, from being subjected to this mental illness associated with, with working at sea or with seafarers, as I can say. So, this was the duty or the obligation of the employer to see that, their employees, are protected from these things. They can limit these chances, for being their employee being, go under this kind of mental health situation. By introducing some other things like entertainment on the vessel, like for instance, you provide internet, you provide some kind of any entertainment there when people are working. And also the most important thing is that, the employees, when they come from the sea, they get at least, some confidential counseling before they are released, to see their loved ones, their families, and their wife. Which in my case was not the case. Nothing was done, to limit those chances of being subjected to this mental illness. And which means that if you leave somebody who is coming from an abnormal environment, you will never know. People are different. You have people who are strong, who can resist this kind of side effects. Well, people who are weak, who need care. So in fact, if they had put in place, a mechanism whereby, they employ a social worker, so that whenever the employee from the sea are coming from this abnormal environment, working environment, they get a counseling first. They are quarantined first, before they are released, to see the normal world. Which means that if there is any chances that they detect something that you are not right in your mind, they quarantine you there until they make sure that you are right in your mind. Because if they don't do that, sometimes you can go out there without knowing that you can do something that can bring disgrace, to your life, and even destroy your life. So much, because people today, people are very illiterate and very incompetent. They can just do anything without thinking. Like in my case, they didn't, think of these other things. They just decided to start blaming me with this remote neural, and that is what happened. So that's why I think that, I want, to challenge these guys who conducted this remote neural monitor on me, to shame and humiliate me, and in pub, and expose and exploit me in public, so that I can challenge them in a court of law to see what kind of reasons or what kind of research did they do to investigate what really caused what happened that night. Because I understand it's something that happened one night only. It didn't happen, every day or anywhere. No, but they just based on that one incident that happened, which means that I want to challenge these people in court, which means for remote neural monitor, it's very hard to come with an evidence or physical evidence. So that's why I was kind of relying on if there's a chance that I can get a whistleblower who can expose these people who are exploiting me and exposing me in public and blaming me, and for such matter they have defamed and destroyed my life whatsoever. Just imagine I'm going into 50 next year, but look at me, I have got nothing completely. Socially, economically, spiritually, everything. They have robbed me everything. I don't have anything. That's what they have done to me. So that wherever I go, they just broadcast lies. That's why I want to challenge these people, that at least people should look at my side of my story, because now they are just talking about their stories. They are selfish. How people want, how they want people to view me, which is very, very wrong. Which means in this case, their motive is wrong. It's unresearched. It's just nothing. It's just their imaginations. They never went there to see why did that happen. To search all the possibilities and everything that led to the incident that happened, that which they are using today in order to harm my life. So in fact, if they could have gone into that, then I would understand. But they just picked a story from the street, and then he used rumors from the street, and then he used that thing to harass me, and on their way, to harm me, to just destroy my life like that. So in fact, I want to make sure that everything is done properly. All the possibilities are visited and see what really happened and why this happened. And also my employer, I investigated, because there might be some instances of maybe some negligence from their side. You understand? Because as far as I believe, when that thing happened, everybody, it was evident that I was not right in my mind. So even those people who knew me, they used to say that this is not the way we used to know this guy. You understand? So I even find it impossible for people, who are normal, to come up with this remote neural monitor, to start cyber psychologically harassing me or torturing me. I don't know, what kind of mentality they use, whether if they have got any kind of if they have any feelings of some sort. I don't think they have any feelings whatsoever. They just want to do things according to the way they think, which is very wrong. See, they don't have conscience. In fact, I was somebody who was working for the government, who was working at sea in a very mental, stressful working environment, whereby I needed counseling. I sacrificed my mental health. But when my mental health was compromised, instead of receiving mental health care in a way of counseling or being rehabilitated in a rehab center, instead I got the opposite, a cyber psychological torture instead of professional psychological help. These are the things, that I want, to ask, to question these people. Why did they do something stupid like this? Thank you from everybody else who was watching this video. Don't forget, to subscribe to this channel, and please like the video. Thank you very much for your support. I love you. Thanks. Bye.